Hey, family and friends. I just want to talk to you briefly about suffering in silence. There was an individual the other day that died from suicide. As a mental health professional, as a minister of the gospel, and going through my own life experiences, we have to take better care of ourselves. And sometimes we just don't know what to do. Or someone you know that is suffering in silence, you don't know what to do for them or how to help them. And I know we talk about help is available, but I know it's hard for people of color to, not for everybody, but statistical data shows that we are less likely to receive help. And it's time out for keeping our guard up and refusing to get the help that's available. It can be scary, it can be hard, because you may feel judged or embarrassed and afraid to ask for help. But it's time out for suffering in silence when help is available. You don't have to do it alone. And again, if this is not for you, and if you don't suffer in silence, send the message to somebody that does. Because you are hoping that those voices are going to go away, and you're hoping that things are going to get better on their own. But most likely it's not. Some may even been diagnosed. Some may have been getting treatment. Some may have been taking medicine, but it's not taking the thoughts, the feelings away that you have. But there is still hope. There is still help available. And so I just say, don't suffer in silence alone. For me, I offer my help any way I can. If that's just praying with you, if that is helping you get your life back on track, I'm willing to do that. As being a person who have experienced those type of thoughts of hopelessness, thoughts of giving up. But for me, it's different because of the assignment that's on my life. And so I understand when a person is maybe feeling a certain way or have these thoughts and they don't know what to do. I get it. Some may even think that I can just pray myself through, but we must be able to identify your belief system. Is it some trauma? Is it something that happened to you in your past that has never been resolved and it's affecting you now as an adult? Do you have a teen or a young child that you know isolates themselves, stays to themselves, doesn't make friends easily, struggling with schoolwork, known to be bullied or is a bully? Whatever the case may be, however I may be able to provide a service or a support, I'm willing to do that. But for me to sit and be quiet and not speak up when there is a crisis in the world, shame on me, and shame on anybody who have the resources, know how to help individual, and know you may not be licensed, but just being a person that is there, creating that safe space, being that listener, a good listener sometimes is all that it takes. But to sit and not do anything, praying, yes, but also putting the work in and reaching out, offering whatever help I can provide. But I was in prayer the other day, a couple days ago, and was in my spirit that a famine is coming. And they've been talking about a famine. But a famine is coming that it doesn't matter what a person have in their bank account. It doesn't matter your material possessions. It doesn't matter whatever your status is, your social economical status is. This is going to be about a relationship with the Lord. You could be a child of God, but the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God. We don't want to be like the virgins that when the bridegroom came, they didn't have no oil in their lamps. And I'm not turning this into something to preach about, because I offer my help to those that aren't even believers. But I need you to know a famine is coming. And there was a prime example the other day. That man it looked like he had the dream. He had everything going for himself, and it still wasn't enough that he allowed the enemy to give him instructions and make him deceived him into believing that life was better off without him. And if you could be honest, have you ever thought, or you know somebody that shared with you, that they thought their life would be better off and everybody else would be better off if they weren't here? Thoughts of giving up, thoughts of not wanting to move on. This thing is real. And you can be a child of God and you can be praying and it still be not enough. What is God saying to you, if it's you? Or what is he saying to you for somebody else that you've been looking at and you haven't spoken up, you haven't said anything to them, you're not even praying for them? So then when something happens, you don't want to have the guilt and the regret when you had an opportunity to do something and you didn't. And so I close with this message. Don't suffer in silence. You don't have to do it by yourself. If you know somebody that's suffering in silence, give them this message. Forward it to them. If they just want prayer or if they want help, I'm willing to coach and mentor that individual to get back on track, to get to a place of stability, that they can take back over their mind and not be consumed with hopelessness, with depression, anxiety, with addictive thoughts, behaviors that separate them, behaviors that cause them to be embarrassed, behaviors that cause them to be ashamed of their lives. It don't have to be this way. And so I say again, you don't have to suffer in silence. There is help available. You may be afraid to get help, but pray and ask God to give you the grace. Pray over yourself and say, I will no longer be silenced. It's okay to not be okay. I will not pretend that everything is okay. I will receive the help that's available. I will step out of my comfort zone. There is help available. I don't have to live in hopelessness. I don't have to stay in darkness. I don't have to believe the lies, because there is a better way. And so I hope that this message is shared. I hope that, listen, you don't have to be on your deathbed, or you don't have to be in a very bad state to get help. Sometimes you just need some different skills, some more tools to help you overcome where you are stuck. There are people that are trained to help you. Don't be afraid. Pray and ask God to send you to somebody that has your best interest at heart, who has compassion, who will help you through the process. But to stay in a place or to listen to other people, you don't need that type of help. Or if you have thoughts to say, if you get this type of help, you weak, you a punk, a coward, whatever the thoughts are, the devil is a lie. Get the help that is available. And again, I offer my services any way that I can help, whether it's intervention, help you get your life on track, short term or long term. That's something that we can talk about. But don't spend another day, another second, another minute, another year suffering in silence. Whatever I discuss is confidential. And any other professional, it's confidential. But get the help. You will feel so much better. Life will make so much more sense when you are able to process your thoughts, get an understanding of why you think like you think, why you feel like you feel. It costs you nothing to invest in yourself, but it will cost you way more